Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I am your host, Scott Ranf, and I have a lot to talk about today. I got City Council, well, they approved the Fox site where they're going to be building a hotel. You got building a parking garage, and a couple other things that will help bolster the community's economy as well. I got some news items. I got some weather. What else do I got? I got a couple proclamations from the mayor, which I'll be showing you guys later on the show as well. I got another exciting installment of let's see here. I got another stop motion video of the week. I have about only a couple more weeks left of your stop motion animation featuring my little Lego creations and whatnot. But let's show some weather. It's looking like it's nice today, but it's going to look fairly less nice the next couple of days. So let's take a quick look at the weather. It is currently 39 degrees outside. Your high is going to be 79 degrees. It's going to get warmer for your Thursday, but then there's that chance of thunderstorms happening. Your low is going to be 46. 52 tomorrow, as well as Friday. You have that 50 to an 80% chance of showers pretty much happening all week long. These are going to be spring showers, so they're going to be very sporadic. So you might need to have a nice light jacket for this because the weather is going to start cooling off this week as well. So let's talk about some things that are happening in the news today. So if you haven't already heard, the Missoula County Public Schools are working on effectively updating the new times and scheduling when it comes to starting high school. High school students usually start school at around 7:50, 8 o'clock in the morning, and some MCPS officials say that might be a little too early and that teenagers need more sleep, and that it's and through scientific fact that when you're at that stage of adolescence, it helps promote the functionality of brain functions and the development of them as well. Look it up. So the whole idea is that they want to change the start time for school 7:50 to 8:30 a.m. One of the big problems that they really have to solve with the new time change is bus route schedules, and especially kids with special needs, to help adjust what time best works for picking those kids up, as well as the kids who take the regular bus schedule as well. If you haven't already gotten your ballot, I did. I got my ballot for the election that is coming up, and you have until the 25th of May to put it in. So here, let's go through the ballot. So when do you get your ballot? Through the mail. If you sign up for the mail-in ballot, which is great. I think it might be a little too late for some people who got a mail-in ballot. You get 4 different types of paper. You have your pink sheet. Your pink sheet is key because your pink sheet is all for telling you exactly how to do things. And if you vote for more than one thing, you get overvoted, so your vote doesn't count. So you have to be aware of that. This basically explains everything that you need to know about voting. But other than that, you got your ballot, which is very simplistic. The only thing that's on the ballot is your U.S. Congress seat holder for the state of Montana, which is between Rob Quist, Democrat, Mark L. Wicks, Libertarian, and Greg Gianforte, Republican. So those are your 3 choices for this upcoming election. You also get a nice little write-in ballot thing because write-ins are definitely always going to be there, but you have to put in your security ballot before. So you put this in the blue, followed by the main envelope that goes into the county, but you got to make sure that you sign and date it. So just so you guys know, if you can't turn your ballots in on time, or you want to wait until the 25th to vote, you can. The voting day is on the 25th. You guys can go to your local district voting ballot stations as well. But you're encouraged to turn in your ballots to the Missoula County Fairgrounds, which they held the election last year. And I believe you can go through the south entrance in one of those buildings. I think it's the Home and Garden type building at the Missoula County Fairgrounds. And also you can check out the courthouse because that's where a lot of the voting offices are. So in the state, if you guys want to know what's going on with the polls, Greg Gianforte is leading the polls by 8%, with Rob Quist narrowing the gap every day leading up until the special election. One of the reasons why Rob Quist is closing the gap a little bit more, because he's appealing more to the independent voters than he is to the just the Democrats. So Another big tweet, of course, that's kind of like what's happening with the election. There's a lot going on. You probably hear a bunch of ads, and a lot of the people who are basically not voting for Gianforte are people who are getting tired of getting all the calls from Gianforte's people as well, which I think that's a pretty interesting tidbit that I got from the Billings Gazette. Another thing I got from the Billings Gazette is another big twist happening over the state is with Montana State Governor Steve Bullock. He vetoed over 7 bills that were passed through the House in Montana. He vetoed a proposal that would bar doctors performing late-term abortions, and another that sought to allow lawmakers to carry concealed weapons in the Capitol and other state property. Those are some of the bigger ones, but some of them went through the House floor. Bullock also signed 13 laws into place, including a measure that would require Northwestern Energy to absorb at least 10% of the cost of obtaining electricity on the open market because of power plant outages. Republicans were hoping that Bullock would, going back to the abortion thing, Republicans were hoping that Bullock would let the late-term abortion ban through to help get voters for the bonding packages, which failed. Bullock said lawmakers should not interfere with deeply personal medical decisions. And that's basically what's happening in and around the news. I have some programs that are going to be airing, but one of the biggest things that happened for MCAT is that we had a nice little 27th anniversary last Friday, and it kind of like was a way for us to relaunch our brand, our name, our whole identity of how you say. On Facebook, we also changed our name from Missoula Community Access Television to Missoula's Community Media Resource. So if you guys can like us on Facebook, that is our new title of which you guys can find us. We're still on Twitter at MCAT Missoula, but of course you can find out more information by going to mcat.org. So here is our nice little website, mcat.org. But of course, you can always find out more information about my show by going on to wakeupmissoula.wixsite.com/wakeupmissoula. Subscribe to me on YouTube, like me on Facebook, and you can also follow me on Twitter. It's all Wake Up Missoula. Really simplistic. You just got to wake up, people. Moving on, I have a clip from last Friday's presentation. It's also online on our Facebook page, Missoula's Community Media Resource, as well, so you can watch the whole thing. But here's a little taste of what you guys missed if you weren't there for our party on Friday.
One of you for helping us celebrate. This event gives us a chance to share information about all of the services MCAT provides and to get input from you on what you'd like to see from us going forward. It's also an opportunity to celebrate a new era of serving Missoula.
Hey guys, welcome back. The full talk you can watch online at mcat.org. Moving on, let's talk about some of the things that are happening for MCAT this summer. Kicking off our summer is our MissCon adventure, in which MCAT will be going down with our VR to help promote Missoula's Community Media Resource. Next, I believe it's during Memorial Day weekend. It'll start on Friday and it'll go until Monday. It's going to be a nice long weekend full of a lot of nerdy stuff, a lot of people dressing up, and it's going to be at the Holiday Inn Express. So you guys, it's the Brooks and Browns, that whole kind of like conference area is going to be all devoted to all things nerd chic. So you guys get to enjoy that, along with we're going to be one of 3 virtual reality setups that are going to be there, so it's going to be a great thing happening. But we're mostly going to be there to help promote our summer camp. So if you already saw mcat.org, our summer camps are coming, and we have 5. That's right, 5 summer camps this year. We got a media camp, which we're going to be exploring all types of media in terms of audio, visual experience, along with going with a couple of the other television stations here in town with which involve profits, other radio stations as well, and see how many other businesses are working through the future of television and media, along with kind of making some of their own fun little videos and fun little radio podcast programs as well, just kind of showing the kids this and that. That's the one I'm definitely more excited about because it's very broad and it allows the kids to kind of dabble in a little bit of everything. But of course, and also bringing back one of our favorites is animation camp. So our Saturday stop-in animation gets expanded from our Saturdays to our more structured week-long camps, which highlights stop animation 1 to 5 p.m. every single weekday at MCAT, which is happening in July. So it starts in the middle of July 10th through the 14th, and then the week after is another one, just right after that, July 17th through the, I'm thinking my brain, 21st, 22nd. I don't know. I'm bad with dates right at the top of my head because you're catching me at an awkward time. So, and also we have a Raptors of the Rocky camp, which succeeds the media camp, which is happening in June. So we have 2 camps in June, 2 camps in July, and then we have a final camp that kind of combines the end of July with the beginning of August, which is our zombie movie making workshop, and it's geared for older kids, 14 and older. We have showed some wiggle room for some younger kids, but I am deeply concerned, and I will talk to the parents whether or not the kids can get along with the older kids, because it's not about whether the content is too extreme, which includes a zombie movie, which includes a lot of like violence and blood and gore and stuff. It's not about that. It's about the disconnect that there is between age groups, and there is a huge disconnect when it comes to kids that are in middle school versus kids who are in high school, in which this camp is geared towards. So that's kind of like what our summer camps are all about. A little bit more of the Raptors of the Rocky. We go on down to Raptors of the Rocky, which is a rescue ranch farm for birds of prey, and Kate Davis hosts us every year, and it's on a Wednesday. We start a little bit earlier than most days. All these camps are from 1 to 5 p.m. during the weekdays, Monday through Friday, except for a zombie workshop, which is a 9 to 5 deal, and we're going to have a big zombie day on Tuesday, which will invite the local community. We'll have a press release. It'll be a huge day. We're going to invite as many people as we possibly can to do our zombie stuff as well. I'm going to stop talking about some of our kids programs, because this Saturday is basically our very last stop animation regular program, because the following Saturday is more of our party to help celebrate all the stop animation that the kids have made, along with some live action stuff. So it's the idea of a Saturday drop-in with a bunch of kids to express their creativity, and it happens from 1 to 5 every Saturday. And this Saturday will be the last major Saturday where we invite kids to come down and make videos. But let's talk about some of the programs that you guys can get involved with. If you have a program, or if you're interested in making a program or having us record a program, you can go to mcat.org and you go to How Do I Request Event Recording. You can submit a program as well. You can just give us a program that you already have. Request Event Recording is very simply based. You must represent a nonprofit or civic group. You can call us at 542-6228 for further questions and more. But here are some of the tastes and what you guys can see of what we shoot. Sorry, my grandma's awful today. So here is basically all the new programs that are happening this week that was filmed a month or two ago. Any programs that could filmed, they usually don't air the day of. We usually like to schedule in advance, about a month and a half to 2 months, but this from when we shoot it. But without further ado, here are all the new programs you guys can see for earlier to midweek at MCAT, and you can watch anytime at mcat.org via our video on demand.
Afterward, because what do you do with somebody who's been laying in bed for 8 weeks, not moving, with their leg hanging off the side of the bed with weights on it to get their femur bone straightened so that it heals back together? You've got a whole different set of issues that you have to deal with in terms of muscle atrophy, in terms of cardiovascular ability, capabilities, and that sort of thing, to be able to rehab these people. In addition, there's a huge lack of physical therapists throughout the country. And so it becomes a real problem in terms of just people getting access to ongoing therapy and appropriate rehabilitation, which makes outcomes much more challenging and problematic for people.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember that the person who's been incarcerated has been living in a foreign environment. It's like they are in a foreign country. There are very different rules. It's a very different culture. And those things change a person. So when they come home, they're not going to be the same person that left. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be worse or better, but they'll be different. And being able to recognize and respect those differences is vital to that person being able to reintegrate back into the family and into the community.
The idea of the Anthropocene comes along to make us self-aware about the fact that it's a world that we're making. So, I'm not going to solve this problem, but I set it up to give you a sense of how intense it feels to me when you think these things all through together. Now, about the Anthropocene. A lot of people have suggested that it's a mistake to call it the age of humanity, the Anthropocene, because the world's remaking is not really being done by humanity as a unified and abstract kind of species. It's being done it's the consequence of a particular way of organizing the world politically and economically.
It's a project that she created at Meissen, which is the factory that's produced porcelain objects in Germany for the past few hundred years. And so it has this rich history, and they've worked in collaboration with a few artists on creating works that are produced partially with using some molds that are in the Meissen vault. And then so what is really great about her work is she references these 18th century porcelain figurines, and then she's putting them in these sort of playful contexts where a lot of these scenes are dinner party scenes and scenes between 2 or 3 different figures, and there are these beautiful, lush, elaborately painted objects with floral imagery. It looks very appealing, but there's a lot of these different sort of underlying dialogues.
All right, and that was Look Before You Speak. It's a program that I produce with former Missoula Art Museum curator Steve Glukert. And you can watch any of those Look Before You Speak programs. They're all new. The 2017 season is in full swing, and you guys can watch that anytime by logging on to mcat.org via our video on demand. But let's move on. We got some city council stuff. We're going to kick things off with a nice little proclamation by our very own John Ing. And so here is 2 proclamations back to back.
Philanthropic organizations are responsible for enhancing the quality of life of people, and whereas philanthropy is uniquely an American tradition, and the Kyle Petty Charity Ride Across America, founded in 1995 by former NASCAR driver and racing analyst Kyle Petty, is one of the most successful and popular charity events in the country. And whereas the history of the Kyle Petty Charity Ride Across America is surrounded by honoring Kyle's late son Adam, as Adam was a visionary for creating Victory Junction, the ride's main beneficiary. And whereas Victory Junction, a year-round camp that exists to enrich the lives of children with chronic or life-threatening illnesses, was built in 2004 and continues to exude Adam's passion to advocate for seriously ill children. And whereas each year since the charity ride's inception, there have been more than 7,750 riders who have logged 11.4 million cumulative motorcycle miles and raised more than $16.5 million for Victory Junction and other children's charities. Now, therefore, I, John Ing, Mayor of the City of Missoula and the State of Montana, do hereby proclaim May 14th, 2017 to be Kyle Petty Charity Ride Across America Day. And speaking of motorcycles, our second proclamation this evening comes to us annually. Whereas cycles, including motorcycles, scooters, and bicycles, are a common and economical means of transportation that enjoy increasing popularity, and whereas cycles reduce fuel consumption, tread lightly on the overworked road systems, and contribute in a significant way to the relief of traffic and parking congestion, and whereas vehicle-cycle accidents often result from the vehicle operator not seeing or being aware of the cyclist's presence and the operator's failure to yield the right-of-way to the cyclist, and whereas it is vitally important that all citizens of the city of Missoula be on a constant vigil for cyclists and share the road with their more vulnerable cyclist neighbors, and whereas cyclist awareness and safety is a concern to us all, it is therefore appropriate for all motorists and cyclists to unite, be aware, and share the road in an effort to keep our cycling citizens safe throughout our community. Now, therefore, I, John Engen, Mayor of the City of Missoula and the State of Montana, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2017 as Motorcycle and Bicycle Safety Awareness Month.
All right, so that was Mayor John Engen talking a little bit about some of the proclamations that are happening this week. We have a bunch of other things that are happening. One thing starting off with the Fox Triangle finally comes to the city meeting after months of planning and years of finding the right fit to reflect an expansion of the known downtown Missoula riverfront off of Orange and Front Streets. A section of Front Street is being proposed to closed for throughway traffic and rerouted through Owen Street. So if you guys usually go down Broadway and then go straight to Front Street from there, you're in for a rude awakening because they're going to close that section off and have it more accessible for a nice little concrete type park thing. It's going to be a nice little outdoor thing for people to go ride their bikes to, a nice little stop between the trails that will be basically also be connecting from the Orange Street Bridge all the way through California. That will connect through the, I want to say it's the Milwaukee Trail. In a way, don't quote me on that, but that's kind of like the small thing about the big thing about the triangle. So the whole idea is that they're going to reroute those traffic through Owen Street. So if you go probably about a block up a little bit more and you take a right, that's Owen Street. That'll connect you through Front Street. The whole idea is going to be kind of like a nice little swoop thing instead of like a direct line. But anyways, people. That's kind of like one of the things that are being proposed, and they talked about this in the public hearing on Monday night. Let's see, what else is happening? The Fox Triangle is quite a bit of land. It's kind of like 2 city blocks with a riverfront property, which results in development of new hotel, park, trail expansion, and the convention center the downtown area needs to keep up with the demand that some big expos and conferences just cannot fill in the existing locations in downtown Missoula. It's going to be over 50,000 square feet for the conference center. Many of the buildings are not to be built 50 feet of the near 50 feet away from the 100-year floodplain, with building up 30,000 square feet, which includes many entrances that are not clearly visible and structured parking garages for public uses. Many of the issues comes from the customizing of the buildings to reflect the uncommon shaped blocks. And anyways, here's a quote from John DeBari, kind of like talking about this a little bit more.
Everyone who has spent time working on this, including my colleague Ms. Bentley, who spent a great amount of time on this, staff from the MRA, the developers, parks, and staff from development service as well. I think we took to heart the recommendations of the Community Benefits Coalition in addressing the land use agreement and trying to make sure that we're doing a really good job for the citizens of Missoula with regard to public access and protection of the environment, especially the Clark Fork River. The reason for inserting the proposed amendment this evening is that, as we all know, the residential portion of this development has yet to be designed, and so it seems appropriate that we have an opportunity to work with the developer and other interested parties in the community to try to address the issue of housing with this development, and I think it provides an excellent opportunity for us to have a meaningful discussion when the time is appropriate. At this point in time, it's really not appropriate to say what kinds of housing need to exist there, or if there's going to be low and moderate income housing, what proportion needs to exist. It's, I think, just way too early. So I think the idea of crafting a separate agreement will give everybody the opportunity to be thoughtful about this and craft the right kind of agreement when the time is appropriate.
All right, so that once again, that was John DeBari. I have another quote about this as well. Emily Bentley reflects on how many people helped make this possible. So here is Emily Bentley.
I think it does a really good job at providing for a lot of the things that were asked for by the Community Benefits Coalition, including that community access and quality design and shielding parking and a public plaza. I think that this is a step in the right direction. I'm really happy with the way negotiations went. I felt like everyone worked in really good faith towards a good outcome. And like I said, I'm excited to support the motion, provided the developers agree to the change. And if they don't, I think we should send it back to committee.
All right. So one of the things is that the developers were there during the public meeting, and they're concerned, but not necessarily about this new amendment. They have other concerns about the riverfront. And so this is Jim McCraw, and he is from Riverfront Properties, and this is what he had to say.
I want to say I appreciate Ms. Jones' amendment that you recognize that for low-income housing to work, it really is a three-legged stool, and it's going to take a for-profit entity, which we are, a not-for-profit entity, and the city of Missoula to participate, because we just can't put it all over on one side, or it just won't work. So we don't have a problem with the amendment. We think what's best for Missoula is to have a mixed-use housing at the riverfront triangle.
All right, so we have another quote from a designer in architecture from CTA. This is Jeff Crouch. He's concerned about the riverbank's 100-year floodplain, and he says that 50 feet might be a little too much.
If the developer comes forward with a request for an easement from the 50-foot setback that's required with the rezoning you just passed tonight. This gets convoluted, but we talked about a 25-foot minimum setback that was a friendly amendment offered, and that was from top of Riverbank. In talking with, and we as the developers' representatives had some concerns about that. In talking to Ryan from WGM, we also realized there's a further concern that the Riverbank isn't defined. As a matter of fact, there's an area where the existing buildings, the old Providence, St. Pat's buildings, basically eroded the riverbank. And defining that riverbank and drawing that theoretical line in the sand to set that setback off of causes us some vagueness and concerns as well. And so recognizing that we're not even sure we're going to come back for an easement from the 50 feet that's required, recognizing that any trail and design and setback to a building will be approved by Parks and Rec before the easement is applied for, we would just at this point ask for a slight change to the language and to make the 25 feet from the floodplain, which is a defined line, a definable line on the earth. We recognize that that is slightly downslope from the top of the riverbank, so it does represent a lessening of 25 feet from top of riverbank to building, but it gives us a line that we can actually work to, and if we have to come back in front of this board to discuss the development agreement, when we get our design finalized, it gives us something that we can actually speak to concretely rather than a line that is going to be vague at best.
All right, so the motion did pass with the new amendment within terms of residential update. The rezoning law will result in 2 standard zoning districts under Title 20, which can't be unconditioned. The parcel of city-owned ownership located in the southern corner of the site is proposed to be rezoned OP1 open space, which is consistent with the intended uses as a riverfront park and a portion of the riverfront trail. The balance of subject property is proposed to be rezoned to CBD 4 Central Business District. For more information, you can learn about the current and upcoming City of Missoula meetings. You can log on to ci.missoula.mt.us for more information. But other than that, the motion did pass with the update and the amendment for the residential, and also as well to rediscuss the line for the riverbank about how close the building can be towards the floodplain. So it's adjustment. It's like a difference of 30 feet, and basically that's kind of what they were kind of talking about. And more information, like he kind of expressed that the Parks and Rec will help work with the trails and also that and more. But you can find out more information once again by going to ci.missoula.mt.us. But I'm going to come back with after these PSAs. I have a couple PSAs ready for you guys. So I'll be back with your events that are happening for the next 2 days.
MCAT, Legos, Legos, pow, peppa, pow. No,
Come get your VR. Virtual reality is what we are.
Editing. Hoverboard, green screen. Legos, editing.
Come get your VR. Virtual reality is what we are. Hoverboard, green screen.
For too long, corporate tobacco has exploited our people, manipulated our practices, and profited from our addiction. No more. If you struggle with commercial tobacco addiction, call the American Indian Commercial Tobacco Quit Line today at 1-855-372-0037 and talk to someone who understands.
No matter what you're planning, if you plan to drink, plan to have a friend get you home. Get ride home ideas and tools at plantolive.mt.gov.
Missoula Community Access Television works with kids in an active learning environment where they get hands-on experience in video production. MCAT offers weekly Saturday classes that spark creativity in kids from 9 to 13 years of age. Located downtown at 500 North Higgins. MCAT Saturday Drop-Ins. Create your story.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Buckle up, Montana. Life is a ride you want to stay on. Send a buckle up reminder to a friend at plantolive.mt.gov.
Your smartphone can help you find a bar, alert your friends that you're in the bar, update you on your team while you're at the bar, and now, let you know you need a ride home from the bar. That is smart. Download blood alcohol calculators for your phone at plantolive.mt.gov.
Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry about that long little pause of videos and PSAs. I'm kind of in the middle of like 12 different things right now, but I just want to tell you one thing that's actually happening here in Missoula that you guys can, if you guys want to take away a little piece of history, the Missoula Mercantile will be doing a brick and wood giveaway on Sunday between 1 and 4 p.m., depending upon, how long it lasts. So if you want a piece of the old Mercantile, Sunday is the day to pick up your brick from the old Missoula. Missoula Mercantile. So just to letting you guys know. I'll tell you guys again on Friday as well. But let's start off by talking a little bit about events that are happening. It's International Bike to School Day starting this morning. The first time ever National Bike to School Day took place in May 9th, 2012 in coordination with the League of American Bicyclists National Bike Month. Almost 1,000 local events in 49 states and the District of Columbia joined together and encouraged children to safely bike or walk to school. And that's happening today. MBM, Businesswoman of the Year presentation is going to be at the MCT for Performing Arts today at 12 p.m. Missoula, Montana at the during the general meeting will be held at the MCT at the theater. It's the change of location is for this month only. They will be honoring the Businesswoman of the Year. This meeting is open to all members as well as non-members who are not attended the two previous MBM meetings. Sponsors by Susan Bullman of RCKN Outdoor Sisterhood. Lunch buffet or dessert is available for $12 or $6 depending upon your appetite. Missoula Counselors Network is having an event at the Stone of Accord. This is an opportunity for private practice counselors to network with other practitioners in the community, share resources, and work together to collaborate and improve the quality of care for their clients. This is not a formal event nor a supervision group. Food and drinks are available for purchase. You can bring your own business cards. Space is limited, so RSVP on the Facebook or email. It's called collaborative.effort@gmail.com. And there's a whole other event that's happening around that time. It's called Ask the Organizer, a professional organizer's answer. Hellgate Elementary School is part of the Lifelong Learning Center class. Learn the 10 biggest organizing mistakes that you can make. Bring your organization dilemmas to class. You provide the questions, and they provide the answers. Each person should bring in 2 organizing issues they would like to solve during class. An open format with a lot of interaction. You get the benefits of having your own experienced professional organizer and productivity consultant who is a member of the National Association of Professional Organizers. So they're doing that today from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Hellgate Elementary School, which is just off of Flynn Lane. Next up, we have a seasonal allergies. What can you do? Good Food Store is doing after a cold and icy winter of bounty of bloom that comes with the spring and the summer, our welcome change. Many of us head outdoors to hike, camp, garden, and just to sit outside and soak up the sun. For many, the spring thaw is welcomed by the mold and pollen that are part of the spring can produce unwanted side effects of sneezing, itching, watery eyes, and runny noses. The Vegan with Dr. Margaret Coffey, owner of Yellow Pine Naturopathic Clinic, will discuss natural remedies for short-term relief and for seasonal allergies, possible underlying causes, and ideas for long-term improvement. Time will be allowed for question and answer discussion, and it's happening from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Good Food Store. And it's great. It's like all these spring showers are going to be happening all week long. It's going to totally mess with everybody's allergies all week, so just be aware of that, and I think this will be a good event for people to go to, especially people with seasonal allergies. I haven't really had too many issues with seasonal allergies just lately, in the last 3 or 4 years, but I used to have it really bad, but for some reason just kind of up and stopped. It's just all right, body, it's just my body's quit on me. It's we're not going to do allergies anymore. Allergies are stupid. No more. So that's kind of how it worked with me. You have Fight Fake News Workshop. Missoula Public Library doing an investigation on the psychology and technology that allows the untruthfulness or misleading content to go viral in minutes. This workshop will include activities to improve our civic engagement online. Teachers are encouraged to attend. Many of these resources are presented, also perfect for the middle or high school classroom. Bring your questions and concerns for hearty Q&A following the workshop. This workshop will be taught by J.C. Wilkinson, who is an assistant professor and web service librarian at the University of Montana, 7 p.m. in the large meeting room, and it's to fight fake news. So if you have an issue with looking at news or finding news that you may be really? That's definitely one of the places you have to look for, and to basically make you a little more savvy when it comes to going, really? Is that news? Okay, so the Wizard of Oz is doing their last week today and ending on Sunday at 6 p.m. So they have a show every single night this week, including your matinees on Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. Also with a earlier night show on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. But most shows are going to be at 7:30 p.m. for it's called an adaptation of The Wizard of Oz. They're going to be following the Yellow Brick Road, Ruby Slippers. They have all that junk happening all at the MCT this week, and it will wrap up the Missoula Community Theater season of the year. But of course, they'll be doing a bunch of summer programs for their Missoula Children's Theater, and also be going out in their little red trucks to a lot of communities and rural areas in Montana and around the world to help kids coming out of their shell through performance. So look for that. I have a bunch of educational things. Let's see, Windows 10. You get to learn Windows 10 at the Missoula Public Library, and I know it's kind of I know Windows. It's its own thing. A lot of issues with Windows. It's great if you know Windows. So this is a way for people to get to know Windows at the Missoula Public Library, starting at 12:30 p.m. NAMI Crafts is going to be at NAMI Missoula at 2 p.m. Middle School Writers Group is going to be at the Missoula Public Library after school at 3:30 p.m. today to help improve kids who are struggling with writing and who want some creative criticism along the way. You got a bunch of yoga stuff, just and motion and other stuff as well. I don't really like to talk about yoga. I'm not against yoga. I'm just saying that there's a lot of yoga things, and I don't need to mention every single yoga class that you guys can just look up yourself by going to MissoulaEvents.net. Also, here are some of your music night events. These are all late night events happening. You have Jazz Night at the Top Hat Lounge. You got country dance lessons with instructor Kathy Clark at the Sunrise Saloon. Craptastic Karaoke at the Eagles Lodge. Craptastic Karaoke is at the Bandlander. So there's karaoke, Eagles Lodge, Bandlander, Sunrise Saloon. All that stuff. So, without further ado, I have another art clip. These are basically the last times I'll ever really be able to do this. This is Bryce Peary, and this is his senior Bachelor of Fine Arts exhibit that is going to be on until this Friday. Hey guys, welcome back. That was Rick Phillips who provided the footage and the pictures that are from the Gallery of the Visual Arts, which is at the Social Science Building at the University of Montana. You guys got to check it out. You only have like a day to go check it out, and the gallery is usually closed around 5, 6 o'clock, so you don't have too much time to check out all these art installations. And it's not just that one artist, but it's like 9 to 12 different artists going for their bachelors of fine arts, and you get to see which artists are be like, that's going to be an artist, and then there's like, well, that's art. Because art is subjective, because it's all about your own opinions on what you think and what you don't think is art. So let's talk about some of the things that are happening for your Thursday in terms of events. You have Little Bugs Early Education Program at the Missoula Insectarium. Little Bugs is a full hour of early childhood education in an insectarium classroom for children 5 or younger and their parents. Enjoy an exciting program and explore tailored just for our youngest visitors and their parents. Each week they'll have a new theme and exciting bug ambassadors to hold or touch for a short time. And we had a bug expert come on to our Missoula Live show, which is only going to have one more show, which is next Monday. It's going to be the very last show of the season for the summer until we come back in September. And we had him on our previous show talking about a bunch of things that happen with the insectarium. And one of the things that they definitely love to do is have a bug eating collaboration thing. So they cook bugs and you get to eat them, and a lot of people have signed up for it, and I think it's a great opportunity. And the funniest thing that he said is that adults have a harder time working and touching bugs than kids. Kids are fearless. Adults are like, oh my God. Usually fears are learned from our parents. So if you want to have your kid not be afraid of these bugs, and it's a good opportunity for them to have this kind of experience, exposure. So you can learn to lifeguard. If you don't want to work with bugs, you can work with a lot of noisy children who want you to watch them dive or something. At the Currents Aquatic Center, American Red Cross, lifeguarding, first aid, CPR, AED for professional rescuer. Gain the knowledge and the skills which enable you to save a life and get a great job. Course incorporated self-study through online training and lecture skills and practice pools of experienced instructors. Candidates must be 15 years of age or before the final day of class. For more information, you can call 721-PARK, or it's 721-7275, or go to MissoulaParks.org. The dates are Monday, Wednesday, April 3rd through the 19th. There's Tuesday, Thursday, April 25th through May 11th, and then also Monday through Friday, May 15th through the 19th, and then the Saturday, May 20th, and the times are 6 to 9, Saturday 9 to 12. Okay, so you got wagon, meet and greet. So this is the whole idea. So if you're anxious about meeting other people, but this one's for dogs. So if you want your dog to be more exposed to other dogs, it's an indoor dog park at Wagon Indoor Dog Park. They're holding several events where you can visit Wagon, look around, have a cup of coffee, and ask questions about their services. This event is free, and if it's the first time to Wagon, it's WAGG _N. Please register your pups on the website. It's called www.wagon.org. They didn't have the apostrophe, so it's WAGGN.org. So you can find out more information. It's a way for your dogs to meet and greet the indoor dog park, and also have a chance to be exposed to other dogs, just to kind of see, because you might have a dog that's like, my dog doesn't get along with anybody, and it's like, this would be a great way for your dog to learn to get along and how to work with other dogs as well. So philosophy workshop is at the Learning Center at Red Willow. Join author Jerry Dimberger for an exploration of this ancient philosophy. His book is available for $10 at the door. This is a Chinese classic book written by philosopher Lao Tzu, which explains the universe and the human's part in it. The program is presented by Jerome Dirnberger, who has written a current English adaptation, which is an exercise in creativity, demonstrate his understanding of the philosopher's ancient meaning. Applied to today, it helps explain how to live a more satisfying life. And that's going to be a philosophy workshop at 6:30 p.m. at the Learning Center at Red Willow. Check it out. Hysteria is happening at the Union Dance Hall. So for the final show of BBD, it's a talented BBD company. Members bring a new level for this theatrical theatrical physicality and nuanced dance performance onto a stage under the collaborative efforts of BBD, its Bear Bay Dance, co-director Kelly Bouma and Joy French. The company delves deeply into the exploration of the cultural psychosis, history, and misinformation of hysteria, perhaps even inspiring their own mass dance hysteria among Western Montana audiences. And this is by Kelly Bouma, and it's happening May 11th at 8 p.m. So it's basically happening from May 11th, 12th, 13th, 18th, 19th, and it's all happening at the Missoula's Downtown Union Hall at 8 p.m. I believe probably they usually get MCAT to film a lot of their events at one point. MCAT will probably be there to film it. Missoula's community media resource. I'm trying to say that more often so I remember it, because that's our new slogan, and that's what we're going to be known as from now on. That basically includes all your highlighted events for your Thursday. Here are some of your music events that are happening for your late night. Honeycomb is going to be at Monk's. It's going to be a DJ. Serengeti is going to be at Monk's. It's going to be hip-hop, open mic at the Broadway, Rockin' Karaoke hosted by Aaron B. Rocks. You got karaoke at the VFW, and Satsang is going to be at the Top Hat Lounge. It's going to be folk hip-hop. So folk and hip-hop together at the Top Hat Lounge. It's going to be great. But I think I've kept you waiting long enough. I have a brand new stop-motion video of the week. I only have a couple more left, so you guys better see how this epic conclusion happens. I have all the stop-motion videos on YouTube, and you can subscribe to them as well. This is kind of like this is most of the reason why I did this is to promote our Saturday drop-ins, to promote people to come on down to our Saturday drop-in animations for kids age 9 to 13. Parents are welcome to attend and hang out and kind of learn with the kids some stop animation as well. So we only have one more weekend to do it. And without further ado, here's my stop motion video of the week. And when I come back, I'll wrap up my show.
Well, would you look at that, boss?
She's a real gem. I mean gem.
We should steal it.
I don't know. Stealing hasn't been as much fun since we took over this city.
Hey, boy. Hey, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good. That is a nice boat.
It sure is, boy. Oh, wow. It looks so good. Hey,
what?
I'm gonna take you home.
Sir?
That's okay.
Sir, shouldn't we be on our way?
I suppose so. Oh, wait, what is this? Oops.
Don't worry,
My
I
bad.
got it.
There's something blocking our pathway. What do we do?
I got you, Jim.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I'm glad I can count on you again.
Excuse me. How do we get past this crap? Oops. I didn't mean it. I love you.
Well, I don't see why we just don't go down that way.
Huh. That's a good idea. Come on.
That jerk didn't even notice my hair.
Looks like we've got a consolation prize. I'll be back for you. I promise.
All right, we got an easy mark. All you got to do is flank her. You got that?
I got it, Jim. Hey guys, you want to take a look at this?
What's the holdup?
Are you ready to do this thing? I was born ready.
Why
not the face, not the face!
You traitor.
I'm sorry, Jim.
Now you two listen up. I'm captain. What can I do for you, nice gentlemen?
I'm gonna make this perfectly clear. You better tell me where Stick is right now, and I'll know when you're lying.
Excuse me, I don't want to be that girl, but can I get my hair back?
All right, here you go.
Thank you, honey. Oh, you must be the pirate. Hi. What?
Hey guys, welcome back. And I want to thank you all for joining me this morning for Wake Up Missoula. I'm Scott Ranf. Be sure, here's a quick little rundown of everything I basically talked about. The Fox site is approved. You have a chance to pick up the brick from the old Missoula Mercantile this Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. I'm definitely going to try to get a brick. It's a piece of history, something that's been around for Missoula for over 140 years, the old Mercantile building. Of course, it has been built bigger and bigger over the years as well, but it's a nice way to walk away with a piece of history. I just want to thank you for joining me. And for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ranf. For more information, go to wakeupmissoula.wixsite.com/wakeupmissoula. So nice we made you write it out all twice. Nope, that's not it. wakeupmissoula.wixsite.com www.wixsite.com/wakeupmissoula. You can also go to mcat.org. I didn't want to do like a false ending, so this is my official ending. Thank you for joining me and for Wake Up Missoula. I'm Scott Ranf.